welcome to our English news edition, coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. 5 cooperation agreements and a joint declaration are the outcome of the state visit paid by the Jordanian King Abdullah II to Algeria. Former war veteran and Minister Saeed Shiban passes away and the President of the Republic extends a condolences message to his family. Algeria's experience in terms of preventing extremism at the center of the proceedings of an international forum held here in the capital, Algiers. And protest movements keep marking the daily life of the Moroccan people, always looking for change and better living conditions. Good evening, those were the headlines. First in our news, and as part of the state visit carried out to Algeria by the Jordanian King Abdullah II bin Hussein, was received on Sunday by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, at the Presidency of the Republic. Guests then reviewed a detachment of the Republican Guard which honored him, and that before greeting the President of the Republic, with whom he took a souvenir photo. Later on, the President of the Republic held face-to-face discussions with the King of Jordan, Abdullah II bin al-Hussein, at the Presidency of the Republic. In the same context, the President of the Republic, along with the King of Jordan, chaired over the extended discussions that included the delegations of both countries. Several questions relating to bilateral cooperation in the various sectors were discussed, in addition to ways and means for their consolidation and promotion. The discussions extended to include the Algerian and Jordanian delegations were crowned with the signing of agreements and memoranda of understanding under the chairmanship of the President of the Republic and the King of Jordan. The ceremony took place at the headquarters of the Presidency in the presence of executives representing the concerned sectors.
بين وزارة الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج للجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية ووزارة الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين للمملكة الأردنية الهاشمية بشأن المشاورات السياسية الثنائية. الموقعون عن الجانب الجزائري السيد رمضان العمامرة وزير الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج. عن الجانب الأردني السيد أيمن الصفدي نائب رئيس الوزراء وزير الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين. الاتفاقية الثانية اتفاق بين حكومة الجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية وحكومة المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية حول إلغاء التأشيرة لحاملي جوازات السفر الدبلوماسية. الموقعون عن الجانب الجزائري السيد رمضان العمامرة وزير الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج. عن الجانب الأردني يوقع السيد أيمن الصفدي نائب رئيس الوزراء وزير الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين. مذكرة تفاهم بين المعهد الدبلوماسي والعلاقات الدولية لوزارة الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج للجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية والمعهد الدبلوماسي لوزارة الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين للمملكة الأردنية الهاشمية. الموقعون عن الجانب الجزائري السيد رمضان العمامرة وزير الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج. عن الجانب الأردني يوقع السيد أيمن الصفدي نائب رئيس الوزراء وزير الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين. رابعاً، برنامج تعاون بين وكالة الأنباء الجزائرية للجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية ووكالة الأنباء الأردنية بترا للمملكة الأردنية الهاشمية. الموقعون عن الجانب الجزائري السيد رمضان العمامرة وزير الشؤون الخارجية والجالية الوطنية بالخارج. عن الجانب الأردني يوقع السيد أيمن الصفدي نائب رئيس الوزراء وزير الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين. خامساً، مذكرة تفاهم بين حكومة الجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية وحكومة المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية للاعتراف المتبادل بالشهادات الأهلية للملاحين وبرامج التعليم ومستويات التدريب البحري. الموقعون عن الجانب الجزائري السيد كمال بالجود وزير النقل. عن الجانب الأردني السيد يوسف الشمالي وزير الصناعة والتجارة والتموين ووزير العمل.
On the sidelines of the discussions which gathered the President of the Republic along with the Jordanian King, the Army General Said Shingiriha, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, held discussions with the Chief of Staff of the Jordanian Forces. The two parties then exchanged symbolic gifts on the occasion. For his part, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community abroad, Ramadan al-Amamra, held discussions with the Jordanian Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ayman Safadi. The meeting took place in the presence of the Jordanian Ambassador to Algeria, Shakir Al-Ammoush. The Jordanian King Abdullah II bin al-Hussein was greeted by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, as he left the presidency's premises. To the People's Palace now, where the President of the Republic awarded on Saturday the Jordanian King Abdullah II bin al-Hussein the Al-Atir Order Medal. For his part, King Abdullah II bin al-Hussein decorated the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, with the Supreme Order of the Renaissance, which is the highest Jordanian civil royal distinction awarded to presidents.
صدر مصف الاستحقاق الوطني منح أخيه جلالة الملك عبد الله الثاني بن الحسين وسام أثير من مصف الاستحقاق للجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية. يتفضل السيد الرئيس عبد المجيد تبون لتوشيح جلالة الملك عبد الله الثاني بن الحسين بوسام الأثير. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, in execution of Presidential Decree number 22/418 of Jumad al-Ula, the 7th, 1444, corresponding to December the 1st, 2022, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, the President of the Republic, Sadr of National Merit Order, grants a Medal of Athir to His Majesty King Abdullah al-Thani ibn al-Hussein, King of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, considering the common history and the ambition to single destiny of the brotherly states and peoples. يتفضل جلالة الملك بعد تلاوة الإرادة السامية بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فخامة الرئيس جلالة الملك، اعتزازا بما هو قائم بين صحابة الجلالة الهاشمية الملك عبد الله الثاني بن الحسين المعظم وفخامة الرئيس عبد المجيد تبون حفظه الله، رئيس الجمهورية الجزائرية الديمقراطية الشعبية الشقيقة، من علاقات أخوية متينة وللمكانة الرفيعة والقيادة الحكيمة لفخامته، وتجسيدا للعلاقات التاريخية المتميزة التي تربط بين البلدين الشقيقين. وبمناسبة الزيارة الملكية السامية لبلدكم العزيز، فإنه يسر صاحب الجلالة الهاشمية أن يهدي فخامتكم وسام النهضة المرصع، متمنيا أن يكون هذا الوسام مقرونا بكل معاني الخير والسعادة والبركات. صدر عن قصر بسمان الزاهرة في عمان في اليوم 9 من شهر جمادى الأولى سنة 1444 هجرية، الموافق لليوم 3 من شهر كانون الأول سنة 2022 ميلادية. يتفضل جلالة الملك عبد الله الثاني بن الحسين لتوشيح السيد عبد المجيد تبون رئيس الجمهورية بوسام النهضة المرصع. Kindly, His Majesty King Abdullah al-Thani ibn al-Hussein would like to present the President Abdel Majid Tebboune the Order of Al-Nahda. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, Excellency President, Majesty King, in recognition of the brotherly and strong relationship between His Hashemite Majesty King Abdullah al-Thani ibn al-Hussein, the greatest, and His Excellency President Abdel Majid Tebboune, may God bless him, the President of the Brotherly Democratic and Popular Republic of Algeria.
On the second day of his state visit to Algeria, the Jordanian king went to the Martyrs Sanctuary here in Algiers, where he laid a wreath of flowers in front of the commemorative stele and recited the Fatiha, or the opening chapter of the Holy Quran, on the memory of the valiant martyrs. The Jordanian king enjoyed the view of the Bay of Algiers. Within the same activity, King Abdullah II paid a visit to the Mujahid National Museum, where he received detailed explanations on Algeria's history and its fight against colonization. He then signed the Golden Register of the museum. The Jordanian king was accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ramtan Lamamra. At the end of his two-day state visit to Algeria, King Abdullah II bin al-Hussein left Algiers. He was seen off at the Houari Boumediene International Airport by the Prime Minister, Ayman bin Abdurrahman. A joint declaration was released at the end of this state visit. Here are its contents. Starting from the brotherly and historic relations between the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria and the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and in response to the generous invitation of his brother Abdelmajid Tebboune, the king of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan paid a state visit to Algeria on the 3rd and 4th of December of 2022. The two leaders held a session of bilateral discussions followed by talks extended to members of both delegations, marked by a spirit of friendship and brotherhood, and during which all aspects of bilateral cooperation were examined, in addition to the ways and means to consolidate them. The two leaders also discussed ways to strengthen joint Arab action to face the common challenges and serve the Arab causes. In this context, King Abdullah II congratulated President Abdelmajid Tebboune for the success of the Arab Summit held on the 1st and 2nd of November. King Abdullah hailed the summit's important results in order to face up the current challenges facing the Arab nation and united and preserve its interests and causes, namely the Palestinian cause, in addition to activating the joint Arab action and redoubling efforts to face up the regional crisis and ensure security and prosperity. The two leaders stressed the centrality of the Palestinian cause and the need to reach a joint solution that would respect the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people. King Abdullah II hailed the efforts of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to close the ranks and achieve the Palestinian unity. Both leaders also stressed the need to preserve the historical and legal status of the Muslims and Christians in Al-Quds. President Tebboune put forward the important role of the historic role of the Hashemite Kingdom as a protector of the holy shrines in Al-Quds, as well as its efforts to preserve the Arab identity. The two leaders also discussed a number of issues on the regional and international levels. They stressed the importance of strengthening the process of cooperation and economic integration between the Arab countries. They also stressed the radical rejection of any interference regarding the affairs of the Arab countries and the need to resolve disputes through dialogue and consensus. Both leaders specifically emphasized the importance of intensifying Arab and international efforts in order to find political solutions to the crisis in Syria, Libya, and Yemen, while stressing the need to continue collective action to fight terrorism and extremism. And regarding the bilateral relations and bilateral cooperation, the two leaders highly welcomed cooperation in the field of pharmaceutical industry. They also discussed and called on officials of both countries to take the necessary measures to encourage investors and businessmen to explore the available investment opportunities. They also highlighted the need to expand cooperation in other sectors, including health, energy, tourism, hotel industry, transportation, and aeronautical training. President Tebboune and his brother King Abdullah II called on the officials of both countries to prepare the next session of the high-level Joint Commission due to be held next year. They also stressed the importance of joint cooperation between the Arab League and the African Union in order to ensure the interests of the Arab and African peoples, with the aim of consolidating the brotherly relations and cooperation between the two countries. The two parties signed during this visit 5 agreements and memoranda of understanding. At the end of this visit, King Abdullah II expressed his thanks and gratitude to his brother, President Abdelmajid Tebboune, and invited him to visit Jordan. For his part, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, welcomed this kind invitation, and the date of which will be later on set through the diplomatic channels. In a different context, the former Minister of Religious Affairs, Professor Saeed Shiban, passed away on Sunday at the age of 97 after a long illness. On this painful ordeal, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sent a message of condolences which stated the following: "It is with great sadness that I learned the death of the Mujahid Saeed Shiban. On this painful ordeal, I remember the long struggle of the deceased within the national movement, marked by him joining the Algerian Muslim Scouts and the Algerian People Party at a very young age. I would like to recall his noble qualities that earned him respect as a teacher, doctor, and minister. I present to you my sincere condolences and deepest feelings of compassion, praying Allah Almighty to grant you courage and patience to face this painful ordeal. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return, concluded the President of the Republic. On its second day, the proceedings of the International Forum held under the theme, The Geopolitical of Extremism, Origins, Threat, Challenges and Struggle Mechanism, took place under the auspices of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and by the Advanced National Studies Institute. Ines Kilo reports.
The forum opening ceremony, of which was chaired on Saturday by Army General Said Chingriha, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, at the National Army Center in Beni Messous, was attended by members of the government, senior state officials, major generals, as well as professors and experts from Algeria and abroad. The proceedings of the first day continued with an address by the General Director of the Advanced National Studies Institute, in which she emphasized the theme of this forum and expected goals.
نتطلع في هذا الملتقى الدولي ومن خلال المادة العلمية التي تتضمنها.
The proceedings of this international forum will allow us to put in place a global vision on the dimensions of the phenomenon of extremism and the mechanism to deal with it. For his part, Mohamed Barqouk shed light in his opening speech on the geopolitical of extremism in light of the current global challenges.
في هذا الملتقى اعتمدنا تصورا هو أن اعتبار التطرف طيف.
This forum will allow us to better understand extremism. It's a spectre which starts with extremist ideas that turn into extremist behavior until they become terrorism.
الإرهاب تعني أن مفهومنا للتطرف يشمل هذا الأشكال الثلاثة.
For his part, Dr. Yusuf Belmehdi, Minister of Religious Affairs and Endowments, underlined during his speech the strategy adopted by Algeria in the fight against extremism, that the spread of this phenomenon throughout the majority of countries in the world requires a strategy to fight it and to set up mechanisms to face it. Algeria has put in place a clear and comprehensive roadmap to deal with this phenomenon, and this through offensive mechanisms. Algeria's experience in dealing with extremism and terrorism is now cited as an example, particularly among the major power countries. The proceedings of this forum were marked by a series of presentations by Algerian and foreign professors and experts who shed light on the phenomenon of multidimensional extremism and its repercussions on security and stability in the world, particularly in the Arab countries and in Africa. The first day was concluded by 2 workshops on geopolitical changes and on the prevention and fight against extremism. The proceedings of this forum went on with a particular focus on various constitutional, legal, media and religious mechanisms to prevent extremism in all its forms. Likewise, emphasis was put on Algeria's experience with this phenomenon, as well as on the media approach and the role of Algerian diplomacy in this field. The forum wound up with interesting interventions that contributed to work out a global vision on the dimensions of the phenomenon of extremism, as well as the appropriate mechanisms to deal with it.
In other news, the OPEC and its allies decided to carry on to lower their production by 2 million barrels per day in December and January, a decision that was taken during the 34th ministerial meeting held via video conference. The Energy and Mines Minister Mohamed Arqab, who took part at this conference, indicated that the 23 countries for the main opted for the maintenance of their plan of reduction decided this during the meeting held in Vienna last October. I invite you to listen to him.
We have agreed to continue implementing the measures decided on last October 5th in order to ensure a better monitoring of the market. All decisions are meant to maintain the market balance, also to guarantee sufficient supply and meet the demand of the international oil market. We have agreed to meet on February 1st, an opportunity for us to assess the efficiency of our decisions, particularly those related to the oil market stability.
To Morocco now, where the protest movements are still ongoing. In addition to the terrible living conditions, the 2023 finance law also worsened the people's socio-economic situation. Melissa Kubash tells us more.
Still no signs of slowing down across the Moroccan territories, where thousands gather to express their fed-up when it comes to the hike of prices, the 2023 finance law, the corruption of the ruling class, and the numerous arbitrary arrests. Moroccans do not only have to face this crisis, but has also to deal with the silent strategy adopted by the regime in face of this terrible socio-economic situation.
احتجاجا على السياسات ديالها اللي كنعتبروها السياسات العموميه السياسات لا شعبيه.
We are protesting against the regime's policy, including the finance law, which doesn't meet the Moroccan people's expectations, nor the slogan of the Moroccan government of social state. Indeed, nothing reflects that slogan.
الشعار اللي رفعته الحكومه المغربيه ديال الدوله الاجتماعيه.
The demonstrations are a telling evidence of the people's determination and will to improve their living conditions, largely affected by the hike of prices, including the basic products.
We can't afford anything, not even basic products. If you're lucky to get bread, you will have to consume it for an entire week.
Faithful to their principles, despite the numerous challenges, Moroccans are willing to continue their fight against the injustice practices imposed on them by an incapable regime, still turning a deaf ear to their untold suffering and their distress calls.
Let's move now to the FIFA World Cup 2022 being held in Qatar. France moved to the round of competition following its victory over Poland with 3-1. Africa's representative, Senegal, is out of the tournament after a 3-0 setback versus England. And with that, our today's news edition comes to a close. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.